Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the channel. This is Anthony. This is the Popcorn Muncher. I'm here to talk about today what Robert Downey Jr. playing the role of Doctor Doom in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. That's right. That's what I want to get down with in the MCU and see exactly why he's playing that role in the first place when he was originally playing Iron Man. There's many theories out there, but I want to explore this casting today. So first off, let's lay the groundwork. Dr. Doom, originally Victor Von Doom, is a brilliant scientist and sorcerer, one of the most formidable foes of the Fantastic Four and naturally the Avengers as well. His character is known for his intelligence, ambition, and touch of arrogance as well. But why is Robert Downey Jr. playing this role? What does that mean for the future of the MCU? That's the one thing we got to figure out, because especially after we're done with Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, they're already talking about that they're going to reset everything and get new characters and everything else like that. So would this be a play of just to get Robert Downey Jr. to play Doctor Doom beyond this? That could be it as well. One of the few more things that we have to explore in these things. So before we go any further, we just gotta remember and go back a little bit and remember that Robert Downey Jr. played Iron Man, and we saw him in a phenomenal story arc that ended in the Avengers Endgame. Many fans assumed that was the end of the road for Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. So why return back to the MCU and complete in a completely different role? One of the theories out there, of course, is going to be, and in my opinion, is basically he's going to be beyond this when we're done with Endgame and we're done with Secret Wars. He's going to be the one that keeps Marvel afloat as far as for what fans want to see and as far as for being Doctor Doom. But one of the most popular theories is the alternate universe variant theory. In this scenario, Dr. Doom's Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom comes from an entirely different universe, maybe a universe where he never becomes Iron Man. Many believe that this will allow Marvel to retain the essence of Tony Stark's character while also giving a fresh perspective on Dr. Doom. This will also tie in perfectly with the other Marvel multiverse movies, like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, or Doctor Strange Mom, the Loki series, and also you can tie in Ant-Man and possibly have endless different type of Dooms on there. Another intriguing theory is the evil Tony Stark variant theory, which I kind of don't subscribe to on this one, but this is basically they saying that since Marvel confirmed Robert Downey Jr. must be portraying a variant of basically the evil version, basically would be just Victor Von Doom. He just decided to change that his name from Tony Stark to Victor Von Doom. But and at the long run, it might be like a deconstruction version of Tony Stark to see what happens if he were to turn a different way, and it might be a split between the timelines of maybe the first Iron Man, when he was still being a drunk and gambling all the time and having a good time with women and stuff like that, and he just never learned his lesson of when he went to what's the name, the Afghanistan area, where he started seeing his weapons being used the wrong way. He decided to go a different route. It's just a different thing happened, and then that's when he turns evil. But they already said that he's playing a different character altogether, that he's not really being the Tony Stark that we know of. So I don't really think that this theory of him being an evil version of Tony Stark is a good theory here. But it's still out there and still had to be discussed, still had to be brought up. But there's other theories out there as well besides this. We also have the dream walking theory. This theory is coming up from seeing Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, with Wanda doing that exact same thing, and Doctor Strange at the end, of course, doing the same thing, doing a dream walk where he basically going from one universe to the other through the form of the dream of controlling the body or whatever in a different universe type of thing. This is only happening is because we know, as far as the background of Doctor Doom, that he's also not only he can build armors and science, he's also deals with sorcery as well. But this is another theory. I don't really quite. I know it may be a good connection since it was already established in Doctor Strange, but I don't really believe in this. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't really buy it. It doesn't make no sense to me. They basically basically it will say that somebody's dream walking, or Tony Stark, the evil version of Tony Stark, is dream walking into the MCU's universe where all Tony Stark is dead already. That's why he got the scars on his face or whatever. That might actually play out. You never know. But I really can't go into that. I don't really that even though it might be a strong theory, I don't think that's gonna actually work that way as far as this is concerned. And it'll just it does create a unique narrative and a twist in it, and it can even be somebody else. It be somebody else being as Doctor Doom, the real Doctor Doom, going into Tony Stark, and that's the reason why we might see throughout the whole movie of Avengers Doomsday of a Tony Stark Doctor Doom, where really in reality has always been a real Doctor Doom in the background all along. He's basically doing the same exact thing as far as the dream walking is concerned. You might have to put a pin in that and see if it can come back to it, but I really doubt that's really it in my opinion. But that could be the main one right there. Yeah, there's this other theory out there is the multiple Doctor Doom variants theory. Basically, they're saying not only Robert Downey Jr., but potentially many other actors playing Doctor Doom. Well, that sounds really nice and all, but I think that's kind of cheapening the moment of having Robert Downey Jr. paying him almost $500 million or $500,000 or $1 billion or whatever they paying this man for to play this role. It doesn't make no sense for them to actually do that, especially if you want to have him as the main attraction on this. I know it basically would be the same thing with the dream walking theory if somebody else is playing the real Doctor Doom type of thing. But this basically is just cheapening it, in my opinion, as far as having multiple different actors playing the role. Also, it seems like it's just peeling off from the Kang when they had Kang at the end of Ant-Man, all those different versions of Kang out there, and try to tie it into that. I think it's kind of BS. You might as well just close the door on that type of situation. I don't think that really what it is. I don't think that's what how Doctor Doom's going to turn out to be at the end. It doesn't make no sense in there at all. Some people even talking about maybe it's going to be a bait and type of switch type of thing. Well, basically it goes back to the same thing I was talking about, the dream walking thing, where it'd be you're coming for Robert Downey Jr. and then you find out, hey, it's this other person over here. It's so many different ways they can go about it as far as they want to bring out, but I really doubt that either one of these will actually work as well at the end of it. All right, so now it comes down to my theory. My theory is going to be a little bit different here, in my opinion, from the rest of them that is out there. If you heard of this theory or read this theory somewhere else, please let me know in the comment section. And also, once again, please like this video. Definitely I'd like to develop this community and have it grow a little bit here and try to see if we can get something started. As far as for my theory is concerned, it's not Tony Stark as being a variant or a clone or anything else like that. My theory goes back to Howard Stark, his father, in the first place. And it goes back to the first Captain America. If you remember in Captain America, this is where we supposedly, in the timeline itself, is supposed to be the first time we see Howard Stark. I'm talking about the timeline, not the movies itself. This is where Howard Stark will appear, and he's supposed to be that Howard Hughes type of character that can invent stuff and, womanize her, going all over the place and, having a good old time. My theory is also he's just Howard Stark himself is a mishmash of characters, not only the Howard Hughes type of thing, but he's also representative of German type of scientists back then. As far as for them defecting from Germany coming into America, how we had it in real life situations. Another clue in that, if they actually using this, will be from Iron Man 2, when you had Whiplash. That's what I'm gonna call him, Whiplash. Basically, his father was in the same situation where they came to America and they were supposed to be free over there, whatever. But then whatever happened in that situation had his father got sent back, and then he wanted to be out there in Europe, in Russia, Europe, or whatever else that where he ended up at. So he didn't wind up staying in America. I think it's going to be the same thing in this situation where they'll dig back into this, and it'll be basically from Howard Stark. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I believe that Howard Stark actually had his child already in Liberia or Kosovo or whatever Sokovia country that they had there. That Sokovia was supposed to turn into Liberia or whatever. Also, it might be on the side or whatever. But Howard Stark already had his child with another woman over there, and then came to America afterwards. Like he went back there or whatever later on, whatever, some type of trip, had his kid over there. Years later, he came back around the same exact time to back to America, and that's when he had Tony Stark. So that's the reason why Doctor Doom is going to look just like Tony Stark, because they basically are brothers. And how they're going to have it in this situation is going to be brother from another mother type of situation, but nobody's going to really know, because of course there's going to be no type of testing or anything like that. Of course, Doctor Doom's not going to know. He's the same as Tony. He's the brother of Tony Stark. He's the older brother of Tony Stark type of situation. I don't know. That seems more of a reach where maybe you have to put in a lot of fluff, maybe do a lot of homework, whatever. But to me, it seems more logical if you're trying to get away from the variant type of thing. But if you're trying to get close to the variant or do some weird thing where multiple madness and all these other things are connected, I guess you go with one of those other theories. But like I said, let me know in the comments what you think. Because to me that makes the most sense right there, especially when they had the part where in Avengers Endgame, when both Tony Stark and Steve Rogers went back in time towards to get the Space Stone by Camp Levi, and then Tony Stark runs into his father, and he's kind of weirded out because, wait a minute, why do I have a different date? Why is he saying that his mother is basically giving birth at a certain time that is supposed to be off? That's what they had. That had that birthday theory, whatever, and they keep saying that something's wrong there, and maybe Tony Stark is adopted or something like that. But I think they might this theory of mine might actually be able to explain it a little bit better. Howard Stark as a cheater. Hey, what the hell? You look at this guy. He was a playboy type of thing. He was having this good old time, and he was supposed to be a Howard Hughes type of character, but yet all of a sudden he's supposed to be quite a stiff, uptight person. As soon as he got married to Maria Stark. Come on now, that doesn't make no sense. But once again, hit me up in the comments, see what it's about, and check me out again in the next video. I'm out. Peace.